Moscow is full of unique, authentic experiences. Feel the mystery behind the scenes.
No matter what they call it, no matter what they want it, they don't know there's
Unfold the history of a great nation as you stroll through an ancient fortress. Don't miss a chance to try an 18th century costume and learn more about traditions of the Russian aristocrats.
don't you know there's
Try an exquisite performance by a Michelin chef
just blows by we keep
or a cozy traditional tea ceremony. Get to know unusual means of transport in Moscow.
no matter
Get a bird's eye view of the city.
no matter what they want it, they don't know there's no
Moscow knows how to attract your attention.
just blows by we keep on standing. We'll call it whatever that we want it. Don't you know there's no way that we'll ever get it? Wind just blows by we keep on standing, standing.
Open your heart to Moscow. Moscow is full of unique, authentic experiences. Feel the mystery behind the scenes.
No matter what they call it, no matter what they want it, they don't know there's
Unfold the history of a great nation as you stroll through an ancient fortress. Don't miss a chance to try an 18th century costume and learn more about traditions of the Russian aristocrats.
don't you know there's
Try an exquisite performance by a Michelin chef
just blows by the key.
or a cozy traditional tea ceremony. Get to know unusual means of transport in Moscow.
No matter
Get a bird's eye view of the city.
no matter what they want it, they don't know there's no
Moscow knows how to attract your attention.
just blows by the keep on standing. We'll call it whatever that we want it. Don't you know there's no way that we'll ever get when just blows by the keep on standing, standing.
Open your heart to Moscow.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, dear participants. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Magomed Mijiev, and I represent Moscow City Tourism Committee. And I'm very glad to welcome our tourism industry representatives from the Southeast Asia. So our digital roadshow aims at strengthening the relations between Moscow and Southeast Asia in tourism. And today we are going to present you what Moscow looks like right now, what new products we can offer to our tourists, and most valuable and practical information that we can share with you. So let's skip to the next slide. Let's begin our presentation. So here you can see the most popular and the most words and concepts that every possible tourist can hear or watch within the internet, or hear from his friend who has some relations with Moscow, who maybe visited once in a while Moscow. And these concepts are something like stereotypes, and we as members of Moscow City Tourism Committee, we are very glad to erase these concepts, these words, and show our tourists that Moscow is nothing that they heard or they saw before, and show them that Moscow is something unique, something new for their visiting and for their new experience. Next slide, please. So here you can see the main facts and figures about Moscow. You can see that Moscow is the world's leading city break destination, as well as its world's leading heritage city destination. You can see all the numbers on the right side, like we have 440 museums and exhibitions. We have more than 250 theaters and exhibition concert halls. We have many places for tourists to stay in Moscow, like 694 hotels for every budget, for every taste, but we will speak about that in detail a little bit later. And you should know that every year there are 1.5 million tourists who are staying in Moscow in those hotels that we spoke about right now. Thank you. Next slide, please. So let's get to the general and valuable and most practical information about our city. Next slide, please. Here you can see that if we're speaking about language, official language, Russian is the official language in Moscow. So Moscow is Russia's most foreign-friendly city. You can see the time zones here, connecting to Hanoi, Moscow, Beijing. You can see useful applications, information, short description about public transport. And I have to note that every modern tourist, the main concern of modern tourists is questions of practical information and also information about safety. So you should know that if we are talking about safety within our city, that all the public places, public spaces, actually, like restaurants, cafes, exhibitions, halls, concerts, all of it are working, all of it open for its visitors. All you have to do is take the PCR test that has to be taken not later than 72 hours. And these results of PCR test has to be either on Russian or in English language. Thank you. Next slide, please. Here you can see the main information about visa formalities. So there are two types of entry visas, like tourist and business. And as you can see, the easiest and most effective way to get a visa to Moscow is to contact a specialized agency in your country. So on the right side, there is step-by-step information about how to apply for a visa. Thank you. Next slide, please. So here you can see the main information about the airports, about the air expresses. Actually, Moscow is the major transport hub. We will talk about this a little bit later also. And you should know that if we are talking about the practical information, once again, that in airports of Moscow, there is information for tourists, not only in English, but also in Chinese language. So you can get all the required information on these languages mostly. Next slide, please. So let's talk about transport in Moscow. As we said before, Moscow is a major transport hub. There are so many types of transport. For example, except ground public transport, information of which you can see on the left side, there are also these types of transport as metro. Metro counts 250 train stations. We have also Moscow Central Circle that counts 31 stations. We have plenty of comfortable actually transports for every season. Next slide, please. So here you can see all the famous right now types of transport, especially in the summer season, like bicycles, scooters, and electronic scooter rentals. Of course, you know that we have a good system of Moscow Taxi. You can see below which companies are functioning in Moscow. And also we have car sharing that as well famous just as electronic scooter rentals. Thank you. Next slide, please. So as I said before, every tourist staying in Moscow for every year, like 1.5 million tourists from various countries. And once again, on the territory of Moscow, there are hotels for every taste and budget, like both 5 stars and 4 star, as well as boutique hotels in old restored mansions, for example. And they are ready to provide you maximum comfort and the best service. Thank you. Next slide, please. So let's talk about what you can do in Moscow, what activities are there in Moscow, and where you can get the most astonishing impressions. Next slide, please. Here you can see the pictures of our Moscow Metro. You can see the picture of Bolshoi Theater, where you can visit the ballet, for example. Next slide, please. We have our own Dream Island, actually, in Moscow, which was opened not many years ago, where you can have some fun, where you can bring your children, for example, your family. On the right side, you can see the winter Moscow, how beautiful it is, and what you can actually do in winter. Next slide, please. You can see that Moscow has its various parks, like Gorky Park, VDNH, Zaryadye, for example. And you can also discover the main sites of the capital from different new angles, thanks to these, for example, these parks. Yes, thank you. You can also ride along Moskva River, the famous river of ours. There are wonderful views. There are central sites, once again, of the city. You can also enjoy the view on, for example, the 85th floor of the Oko Tower in Moscow City, and get to know not only to see new views, new angles, but also get to know the new traditions, all the old traditions, for example, and the tastes of Russia. Next slide, please. Yes, here you can see that Moscow not only has some places to go, like cultural places like museum, theaters, and we also have a great nightlife. We have what to offer for tourists that really enjoys nightlife in various cities. Well, we have our own secret bars where every tourist can spend evenings like local, get some special time, you know. And on the right side, you can see that you can get to know the cultural and historical parts of Moscow, but we will talk about this later when we will get to the information about our museums, about our cultural diversities. Next slide, please. Let's talk about the gastronomic side of Moscow. So Moscow is incredibly rich, actually, with its gastronomic side. We have various cuisines from all over the world. Here you can see Russian cuisine, but actually we have also many cuisines, like from Spain, from China, from India, Italy, Greece, and every other cuisine that we can provide our tourists. Next slide, please. So the fact that Michelin Guide has now has 69 Moscow restaurants, it's I guess it really deserves its special attention, as well as the fact that 2 of our restaurants, which you can see here on this slide, have 2 Michelin stars. They've been awarded with it. So here you can see what exact restaurants are those. Next slide, please. And also we have 7 restaurants with the 1 Michelin star. These first 4 restaurants with 1 Michelin star, and on the next slide 3 more. And you can see that we have really bright and various options for every tourist that who wants to enjoy our gastronomic side of Moscow. Thank you. Next slide, please. So let's talk about the main programs, main products. I told you that we will speak about what new products and what new projects Moscow have to provide to offer its tourists. So this slide shows our digital service, Discover Moscow, which is the main source of information about the tourist potential of Moscow. And I recommend actually everyone to visit our website and get inspired by our city, thanks to the practical and valuable information that this service and this main source has. Next slide, please. So here you can see our educational and our tourist project, which is called City of Discoveries. So this is a whole educational journey for school children, for youth, to the capital of Russia. It's a whole new way actually to get to know the reality beyond the textbooks, beyond the lessons. It's a whole new opportunity to learn how to discover new resources and find these resources, find something new in our city space. Next slide, please. So Russia also has its own digital assistant for planning trips across the country, which is called Ruspass. This is a service developed by the government of Moscow City, and using it, travelers can either book tickets on plane or train, book a hotel room or find a restaurant, for example, and also buy tickets for a museum or restaurant or a concert. I mean, book a place in restaurant. And partners from the tourism and hospitality industry of Moscow and all Russian regions are all involved in cooperation to develop this project, to provide something new. This project is been developing entirely every day, and we are preparing ourselves. We are developing this project to provide our tourists something new, something unique. Thank you. Next slide, please. So, dear participants, thank you once again for your attention, for being here with us. And from now on, I'm about to finish my presentation. And as we also spoke about cultural diversity of Moscow, you should know, once again, there are plenty of things more to tell and to share with you within that subject. So please allow me to turn the floor over Maria Nikitina, who is an art historian, research fellow, leading methodologist at the Museum of Moscow. Maria, please. So we may have some technical issues. Maria, you can hear us?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Now I would like to share my screen to begin the presentation of the Museum of Moscow. So the Museum of Moscow, 1 second. Try to...
Yes, full screen mode, please.
Yeah. So, 1 second.
Yes.
Yeah. The Museum of Moscow is now a knowledge hub which provides information about the city of Moscow, its past, present, and future. Our museum was founded in 1896, so last year we celebrated 125th anniversary of its existence. Our museum changed lots of locations, and currently it is housed in the Provision magazine. So it is the building of military story that is situated next to station metro Park Kulture. Our building is an architectural monument of federal significance, and it is the real monument of empire architecture. And as you look at this building, you can see the citations from ancient Greek, ancient Rome architecture that was typical for 19th century. Our museum has huge funds that comprises about 800,000 items, and we are also proud of our vast collection of archaeological artifacts. Our museum has several subdivisions. Here they are mentioned at the map. Our main complex is situated here. It is the Museum of Moscow, and we also have the Museum of Archaeology, the Lefortovo Museum, the Galerovsky Museum and Exhibition Center. Today, we are going to reorganize our museum and to join 2 new subdivisions, the Museum of Garden Ring and the Fashion Museum that is situated next to Kremlin. The Museum of Moscow ecosystem includes different directions. We offer the information about our museum funds through exhibition projects, online programs, education programs for adults and children. We also have publishing program and organize city events and guided tours. And as for me, I'm a tour guide that I provide tours in Russian and English. I'm also a methodologist and author of educational programs. I'm a lecturer and trainer at School of Moscow Guides, and I'm also a research fellow at Galerovsky Museum and Exhibitional Center. So if you visit Moscow, I will be really glad to show the city to you. Our museum has huge touristic potential. The Museum of Moscow is open every day except Mondays, so it is possible to visit it most of the time. We have 30-40 permanent exhibitions per year. So each visit of the city can be, during each visit you can see a new exhibition. We have more than 400,000 people every year that visit our museum. And this number consists of Moscovites and also the guests of the city. And we also provide more than 80 excursion tours in Russian and English, and the number of this tour increases. And more than 25,000 people visit our excursion tours every year. Now I would like to get acquainted you with our most important exhibitions that made our museum famous in Moscow and abroad. One of them is exhibition that was called Futimas 100, School of the Avant-Garde. This comprehensive exhibition was dedicated to 100th anniversary of Futimas. Futimas is some kind of abbreviation that means Higher Art Studios and School of Russia. Futimas is a Soviet analog for Bauhaus in Germany, and our exhibition was a reconstruction of Futimas educational system. This is how we brought the phenomenon of Futimas into public. Another exhibition is an exhibition dedicated to 100 years of Golerow Plan. Golerow Plan was a plan of electrification of Soviet country. This plan considered building new power stations, new factories, and our exhibition was dedicated to 100th anniversary of this event. In our museum, we pay really huge attention to contemporary art. This is how we try to drive young audiences in our museum. And last year, in 2021, our museum hosted Blazar Young Art Fair. It is a satellite exhibition of Cosmoscope Fair of Contemporary Art that is housed in Гостиный двор. This summer, we provide different exhibitions that help people explore city from different angles, from different points of view. One of the main exhibitions is exhibition dedicated to the district Preobrazhenka. Preobrazhenka is one of Moscow districts, and this exhibition is one of the series that are connected in project Moscow without outskirts. We creating such exhibitions, we try to inform the perception of the districts of Moscow that are situated far from city center, and each several months we change the exhibition and explore different districts of Moscow. Another exhibition that you can see now in our museum is exhibition that is called Dom Byta. It was created in cooperation with State Polytechnical Museum, and this exhibition tells us how the technology influenced the daily life of people in 20th century. So here you can see TV sets, some home devices, and you can explore how changed the daily life of Muscovites in Soviet time. You can also get acquainted with contemporary art in exhibition Alexander Ponomarev Overflowed. Alexander Ponomarev is an artist, a curator, sailor, and one of the organizers of first Biennale in Antarctica. The main topic of this exhibition is exploring the world, driving the oceans, inspiring by nature, and you can get immersed in this atmosphere while visiting this exhibition. And another exhibition of contemporary art that you can see now in our museum is the exhibition that is called Conscious Landscape. This exhibition is about how contemporary artists perceive the space around them and how they find new ways of interaction with the space. And visiting this exhibition is some kind of mediation when you try to look at the space of the city through the eyes of contemporary artists. We also have a personal exhibition of Korean artists, Gwen So-an. This exhibition is called Eine kleine Nacht, and you can also visit it in our museum. If you want to see these exhibitions in a company of tour guide, you can order a tour including the story of the building, visiting permanent exposition, and also all temporary exhibitions, and it will be a whole program that we organize for our guests. One of the main directions of our museum is creating excursions that help Muscovites and the guests of the city to explore Moscow. And as I have mentioned, we have more than 80 different city tours, but I would like to tell you about the unique programs that are provided only by our museum. One of them is Moscow Metro Tour that happens once a month. It is a night tour that begins in Metro Depot, and then you can travel throughout the lines of Moscow Metro via retro train that was built in 1934. This is a good opportunity to get immersed into the history of Moscow Metro and feel the unique atmosphere of night metro that is not crowded with people and that looks completely different than it is at the daytime. We also have unique opportunity to visit some industrial objects. For example, the building of Moscow Electro Zavod, the factory where electric lamps were produced during Soviet times. Now this territory is getting ready for revitalization, and until the end of summer, we organize tours and show people the industrial spirit of this place. We also organize tours in different districts of Moscow, and some of them are situated very far from city center, and we are the only bureau that organize such expeditions. For example, with the guides of Moscow, Museum of Moscow, you can visit Kapotnya, a district that is rather difficult to reach, but it has very comfortable space and very interesting architecture of Soviet period. Here you can see my colleague leading people in Kapotnya. The Museum of Moscow is the only bureau that give people the access to some government buildings in Moscow. For example, here you can see Petrov Palace, a palace that was built under the order of Catherine the Great, a very famous Russian ruler. It was built in the end of 18th century, and for a long time it was the main residence of Russian emperors in Moscow. Today it is the house of perception of Moscow government, but also this building hosts an exposition of our museum, and we organize tours in Russian and English and get people immersed into the history of this building. And we also provide tours in Moscow City Hall and the Moscow City Duma. And these buildings, they are closed to visit most of time, and only twice a year, the guides of Moscow, Museum of Moscow, they provide tours in these beautiful buildings. So you can see that the Museum of Moscow tries to explore the city at different levels. We have a very rich expositional program, and we also provide tours that help either Muscovites or the guests of the city to explore Moscow and get immersed into its unique atmosphere. Thank you very much for your attention. Here you can see the contacts of our museum, now our official site, our email address, and also the telephone number. If you have any questions about our museum and programs that we provide, you can ask them in chat. And thank you very much for your attention once more. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maria, for such an inspiring presentation, a detailed presentation. I'm pretty sure that our potential tourists will have the needed information about something new from Moscow, and our colleagues who are here with us, they also got something new from this presentation. You know, those new angles that we were talking about earlier. So, dear colleagues, once again, Moscow is incredibly multifaceted, and it had many reaches, and one of those reaches is actually shopping in our city. So Inna Asaturova, who is the head of international project of TSUM department store, will tell you about it in detail, not only about shopping actually, but also about whole infrastructure of TSUM department store. Inna, please welcome.
Good afternoon, dear colleagues. Good afternoon, dear partners. Thank you, Magomed, for introduction. Thank you, Maria, for interesting presentation about Moscow Museum and its facilities. Thank you. It was really interesting. Of course, just the cultural part is an interesting during the whole travel program. But as all of us know, shopping is also a part of our travel program. All of us want to bring something interesting or something for our memory from the city we visited or we traveled to. Look at this beautiful point, at this beautiful image that shows us the beauty of Moscow city. This is a city center, and at this image we can see the two very interesting, very beautiful and historical buildings. One of them is a TUM department store with an orange and white sign on the rooftop. And next to the TUM department store, we can see the historical build of the Bolshoi Theater, one of the amazing places in Moscow city. If you are an opera lover or a ballet lover, it's a must-visit place, as TUM department store as well. So, TUM is the world's signature fashion department store and has been a historical site and a symbol of fashion in Moscow for more than 100 years. The building itself, it is in a Gothic style with Art Nouveau elements, and it was completed by a famous Russian architect, Mr. Klein. And if you ever heard about the Pushkin State Museum of Fine Art, the author of that museum is also Mr. Klein. Can we skip to the slide number 2? Yes, number 2, second one, next one. Thank you very much. Here it's a bit closer, so you can see the historical part of the department store with its European Gothic style and Art Nouveau elements. So it's closer and more. See. Yes, can we skip to the next slide? As you know, the Russian language is not the most popular language in the world. And there are some travelers and potential visitors and potential travelers who are saying that, there will be some difficulties with the language, that we are not sure that we will feel ourselves convenient staying in Moscow, in Russia, and so on. Well, we are in a 21st century. Everyone, like most people and most services are already translated into many languages, including, of course, English, Chinese, European languages, and even Arabic languages. So to make the staying of our potential international visitors very convenient indoors of our department store, we provide high-end services. So we translated all navigation signs at TUM into English and Chinese. Our staff speaks European languages, Chinese languages, and some of them speak even Arabic languages. So there are leaflets and menus that are provided you a guide among the department store. There is a special digital navigation signs that can help you to navigate through TUM department store, because the TUM itself is really big, and it has 5 floors of fashion, perfumery, cosmetics, and toys that can be provided to our international visitors. Yes, next slide. Thank you very much. And there is another kind of service that we provide from our side. It's a tax refund service, tax-free, shop tax-free. We start this kind of service from 2018. And our international visitors can get tax refund minimum purchase amount starting from 10K rubles per retail and per calendar day. So you can get your tax refund after shopping within 3 months. You leave Russia, the territory of Russian Federation. There is another kind of services that we provide, of course, for our clients and international visitors. It's about VIP services. It's about next slide. We have different types of clients. Some of them, they do prefer to shopping by themselves, enjoying the whole details, like scrolling through the floors from the first floor up to the fifth floor to enjoy the process by themselves. And other ones are a bit demanding tourists and demanding visitors, and they do prefer VIP kind of services. What we did, we have a special VIP shopping package. So you, your clients, or you by yourself, or if you're helping to your friends, you can book a VIP room at TUM department stores. We have it on a second floor, on a third floor, on a fifth floor, different sizing of VIP rooms for your family, for one person, for friends, if they want to spend their shopping time together. So you book it by calling us. And then we ask about your preferences. What kind of brands do you like? For what kind of occasion you want to make your shopping? For example, there are amount of tourists who are getting ready to Bolshoi, and they are asking us to get prepared them for performance at Bolshoi theater, because evening times it's very nice to spend like watching opera performance or ballet performance. So our VIP shopper will help you with creating your look. If you don't have time to visit our VIP room, you can tell about it and we'll get prepare you to any place you are going to visit exactly at your hotel room. So our VIP shopper will give you a call, ask about your preferences, color preferences, sizing, brand preferences, so on. Will get prepared here and bring all that necessary stuff to your hotel room, and you will get prepared exactly not leaving the hotel. So these kind of services is also available. Made to measure, personal fluent English and Chinese speaking staff, they will be for your convenience. So next slide. And I want to run through the floors of TUM department store. Classically, department stores subdivides on just their floors. They have a special subdivisions. So the first floor usually belongs to perfumery and accessories. More than 100 world famous perfumery brands, including Saint Laurent, Ex Nihilo, Tom Ford, Creed, Penhaligon's, Guerlain, Chanel, you can find on TUM department store, at TUM department store. Different brands of bags, accessories, also belongs to the first floor of department store. Next slide, please. Cosmetics. You also see the brands that are, yes, La Mer, Giorgio Armani, NARS, Chanel, all of these brands, like more than 100 brands of cosmetics and perfumery. Even some of the perfumers and designers, they are doing limited edition for Russian market. For example, there are some tourists that are coming to our department store with a request to buy something exclusive that they can get only in Moscow or only in Russia. We do have this kind of positions among perfumery, among cosmetics, bags, and some ready-to-wear in fashion. So you can buy it only in Russia, you can buy it only in TUM department store. So far, TUM department store is one of the biggest luxury department stores in Western Europe, and the biggest one on the territory of Russia. So the next slide is about menswear. It's a second floor. So large selection of menswear and men's shoes, more than 1,000 brands with mono corners you can find on a second floor. It's about Brioni, Zegna, Tom Ford, Moncler, Saint Laurent, and so on. Third floor belongs to women's wear. Of course, next slide, yes. A finest selection of women's wear is represented on our third floor, of course, including international brands. And here we skip to the women's shoes, also located on the third floor. So if you come here with your family members, like your husband want to shop shorter than women's usually shop, so one goes to second floor, another one goes to the third floor, and you spend your time happily. And then you can meet at our cafes or restaurants, because we have a cafe on a second floor and with a beautiful view to the city center, to the Bolshoi Theater, and you will enjoy your coffee break or lunch or dinner. We do have another cafe on the fourth floor, and there is a restaurant on the fifth floor of TUM department store. So bags and accessories belongs to the, it's the next slide. Bags and accessories belongs to the first floor. I mentioned about perfumery and cosmetics there. Bags and accessories are also located on the floor of TUM department store. And next is denim store and customized bar. It's a fourth floor, as well as the kids wear. It's the next slide. So denim zone and customized bar is a place of our visitors as well, because you can customize anything you buy in TUM. It will be a good memory to bring back with you to home from Moscow. A good memory from staying in Moscow and from enjoying your shopping time at TUM department store. Porcelain and crystal. It's an amazing place, also located on the first floor of TUM department store. It's a very beautiful area of our store with really beautiful porcelain and crystal brands, as well as Baccarat, Lalique, Dom, Bernardaud, and so on and so forth. Moreover, we do a special limited editions with the museums of Moscow, collaboration with these kind of brands as Baccarat and Bernardaud. We do a beautiful limited editions for a Russian market that is really popular, not only among Russian visitors and Russian customers. It's very popular among international visitors as well, because they want to bring something exclusive, something limited from Russia back to home. And this is about, the next slide is about jewelry and watches. These kind of brands like Chopard, Hublot, Rolex, you can exclusively buy on the territory of TUM department store, because we sell them exclusively on the territory of Russia. So you will enjoy your staying and your shopping in TUM department store. And next slide is about the contact information, but I want to pay your attention on a small map that is show us the location of TUM department store. Believe me, can we skip to the next slide as well, the last one? This beautiful spot will stay in your heart forever, really. This is the way how you will get inside of TUM, and this is the way probably we have different doors like for getting inside and leaving the department store, but the city center of Moscow is really beautiful spot for visiting. One of the amazing and beautiful cities in the world. So hopefully believe that you will find time and visit Moscow. We'll visit our beautiful museums. We'll do a beautiful and luxury shopping at Zum department store, and then have a beautiful evening at the Bolshoi Theater, and then having a lunch or dinners and beautiful and tasty restaurants of Moscow with our special loyalty program for international visitors. Thank you so much. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Ina, for such an interesting and expanded presentation. I'm pretty sure that our colleagues noted every detail of your presentation, and let's look forward to them visiting our great city and all the infrastructure that you showed them. So, dear all, thank you once again for spending day with us, for telling us so many interesting things about Moscow, and most importantly, helping our guests to get inspired by our amazing country. So right now, we kindly invite you to continue B2B talk session with Moscow participants. And speaking of which, we would like to remind you that in the next days after our roadshow will end, we will send special vouchers to the most active participants of B2B meeting session. So in the end, we really hope that you will organize as many online meetings with Moscow participants as it's possible. Thank you so much for your attention, for your participation. You have a good day, and most importantly, have a productive day. Thank you so much.